Hi, this is Mad Jen with Mad as Heck, Moms and Dads Associated Society, helping to educate conservative constitutionalists. Thanks for watching. Recently, as you may know, I posted a video rant about something that's been going on with the Romney campaign that I felt was pretty alarming, and it really got my blood boiling, and so I felt I needed to do a rant in order to get out the feelings that I was having. And the response to that rant was actually pretty good. Most of the responses I got were, "Atta girl, you tell him, Jen, that's exactly how I feel, you expressed it exactly how I've been feeling lately," things like that. I've gotten plenty of responses just like that. But I did get one or two responses that weren't quite so positive. One of them was pretty minor, so I'll ignore that one. But one of them, I feel I need to address some of the things that were discussed in this little back and forth between me and a Mr. Don Olmstead, who, by the way, I obviously got Mr. Olmstead's name because at one point he was also a Santorum supporter. So I didn't expect to get this kind of response from an ex-Santorum supporter. Nonetheless, let's read the back and forth. Mr. Olmstead says, "Jennifer, Romney is trying to win the campaign. Just because he hasn't made the Chick-fil-A issue the centerpiece of his campaign does not mean he necessarily is a progressive. You've absolutely gone off the reservation if you're going to do anything to put that communist back in the White House. A failure to vote is a vote for Obama. Didn't Reagan say if we can agree 80% of the time, the other 20% will work itself out? So when you get over your frustration, we'll be here working to elect Governor Romney. We absolutely don't need you sabotaging the effort. So cease and desist. Respectfully, Don Olmstead." First of all, anyone telling me to cease and desist is like telling me to move forward ahead 10 times more, because that's the exact result that you're going to get from me, because telling me to cease and desist is just ridiculous, because it ain't going to happen. First of all, I don't know who he thinks he is to tell me such things. I don't know who this guy is. I have no idea who he is. Maybe he's some big wig guy here in the local politics, but if he's that big, he can't be, because I've never heard of him. But I want to address a couple things here. First of all, me trying to sabotage Romney's campaign is complete bogus BS, because never once in my original rant did I ever say that you shouldn't vote for Romney, or nobody vote for Romney. I'm here to convince you not to vote for Romney. No. Did I ever say that I wasn't going to vote for Romney? No. What I said was, I don't even know if I'm going to vote for Romney at this point or not. I have no idea. So the only person sabotaging the Romney campaign would be Mr. Romney, for not standing up for the First Amendment or religious freedom. Of course, he came out a few days later after all of us social conservatives threw a fit over what he said about the Boy Scouts, and said a little bit of lip service about religious freedom. But you know, words and actions are two different things, and I don't listen to people's words. I listen to their actions. And first of all, you know, what a lot of these people who are supporting Romney are saying is, you know, we need to get him elected first. Then we'll hold his feet to the fire. Well, I'm very sorry. Right now is the best time to hold Romney's feet to the fire, because he's trying to get your votes. And if you're not willing to hold his feet to the fire now, you're certainly not going to do it once he's elected. We need to put the fire under the feet right now, and we need to let him know that we don't appreciate you not standing up for social conservative issues. Now, today he announced his VP as Paul Ryan, who is a staunchly pro-life candidate, or guy, or whatever you want to call him, which is good in that regard. There are other issues with Paul Ryan that we won't even get into on this rant. But let's get back to Mr. Olmstead here. I basically told him, I laughed at him. I said, if that's what you want to do, you want to elect Romney, you go ahead. You know, that's fine. But I told him I wasn't going to cease and desist. And he says, by cease and desist, I mean stop with the fratricidal. I've never heard of that word. Who uses that word? This is somebody's way of trying to dazzle you with their vocabulary to make you think they're smarter than they actually are. Infighting, and work to defeat Barack Obama. I don't need any lectures from the likes of you on the First Amendment. Oh, because I told him, you know, I'm not going to cease and desist because in America we have the First Amendment. You know, or have you forgotten that already? I understand it quite clearly. You are free to continue to act like a crazy, raving mad lunatic just because a candidate isn't running the campaign you want him to. This is a reason there are a reason primaries are called primaries. The process only goes for one winner. Our guy Santorum lost. Get over it. Grown-ups and professionals rally behind the winner, while crybabies work to sabotage the bigger effort. Dude, this is so not about Santorum not winning. I got over Santorum not winning the second he endorsed Romney, 2 weeks after he dropped out. I could care less that Santorum didn't win. What I care about is that our nominee is ignoring social conservative issues or blowing them off like they're not important. So you get off your high horse, because this is not about Santorum not winning. And then he talks about how he resents people like me who are supposedly conservatives damning this great country to near certain financial ruin that my daughters and their generation are going to have to rescue this country from just because Mitt Romney won't eat at Chick-fil-A. Hello! Has nothing to do with whether or not Romney will eat at Chick-fil-A. I could give a bleep less whether or not he will eat at Chick-fil-A. What I do care about is that our Republican candidate won't stand up for Chick-fil-A's First Amendment right. He won't take a stand on the issue. That's the problem here. This guy argues like a freaking liberal. He talks about stuff that makes absolutely no sense. And by the way, this whole thing about Reagan, us agreeing 80% of the times, well, guess what? I don't agree with Romney 80% of the time. I doubt if I agree with him 8% of the time. Okay, so all your little arguments are completely irrelevant. And they make no freaking sense, because later on he says, I have a lot of nerve for calling this guy a rhino. A lot of nerve. And he says, for someone that's all about the First Amendment, it's kind of funny how you can't handle being called out for being what you are, a scurrilous lunatic. Well, you know what, Mr. Olmstead? If telling the truth and not going into this election blindly, thinking that Romney's some sort of savior is me being a lunatic, then I don't ever want to be your version of sane. Because your version of sane doesn't fit for this country. It only will lead us down a further rat hole that will drive us into more ruin. So thank you for your email, and thank you for providing me with fodder for my next video. And if you agree with me, please let me know. Let Mr. Olmstead know too. Long live the Republic.